Boxing today, it seems like there's news breaking every single day. There's fights being announced almost every day, big fights at that. Boxing's in a good place. And sometimes, I don't know about you guys, but I find it a little bit difficult at times just to stay on top of everything between checking Twitter, checking boxing scene, going on BoxRec to see if there's anything announced. There's a lot to look for. There's a lot of platforms you need to go on. And if you look there on screen, you'll see today's sponsors, Boxing Showtimes. They've made an app that does it all for you. Look at that on screen. It shows you where you can get tickets. It gives you all the latest news. It gives you the tail of the tape. It gives you all the card details. It's going to give you details about Fury Usyk. It's going to give you details about Joshua Ngannou. It's also going to have a lot more little things thrown in there as well. The link is in the comment section. It's going to be pinned on this video and more besides soon enough. And not only that, in the comment section, there's also going to be a link, a G-Man promo, which means you can access a little bit more without ads. Now that, to quote Eddie Hearn, is a game changer. Now let's crack on with the video. Alright people, midweek report time. They'll probably be quicker than the normal ones because the Wi-Fi in here, as they always are in most hotels, is, not the greatest. Not the greatest, so there's only really so much we can get into this, but we gotta talk about the weekend's fights. And that's Hamza Sheeraz versus Liam Williams. There's obviously the Eddie Hearn Next Gen show as well, which I think is Liam Dillon, Reece Bellotti, which is a decent fight in of itself. But that card, it's a Next Gen show, so it's not gonna be, on paper anyway, it doesn't look as good as the Warren one this weekend. The Warren show looks pretty good. I was at the press conference today, and it was weird, right? So I thought this Sheeraz Liam Williams fight would be competitive. I was favouring Hamza Sheeraz going in. I don't want to give too much away, but I seen Liam Williams today, and it was a weird kind of press because a lot of the fighters kind of did their bit and left straight away. So I'm obviously going to the weigh-in tomorrow, which is media only, which is good, so hopefully I can get a few interviews. Frank Warren wasn't at it. I was disappointed at that. His son Francis stepped in for him instead. I seen certain things about Liam Williams today, just stuff that you'd look for, and I was kind of like, that's a bit of a worry. So I'm going with Hamza Sheeraz to win this fight in the weekend, probably by stoppage. I know Liam Williams he has been stopped, but never, down to, well, you could say the fighter did stop him, but down to a cut by Liam Smith is the only stoppage loss, and that was years ago. I think it was 2017. But he's been in there with guys like Demetrius Andre, been in there with Chris Eubank Jr. They've not been able to keep him down. They've beaten him on points. So only a stoppage on cuts is his only stoppage loss. It's going to be interesting to see what Sheeraz can do because he looks good. Also there was the likes of Anthony Yard. He's returning to action. We'll see how he looks. Apparently Joshua Buatsi is going to be there on fight night, so I'm looking forward to seeing Buatsi, and whether those two can get it on or not, there's obviously going to be talk because Turki Al Sheikh has been saying a Queensbury Matchroom show. How big are the fights going to be? If you're going to try and get big fights, well, you got to look no further than Anthony Yard versus Callum Smith. That's a big fight for the undercard, and it also, considering it's for undisputed at light heavy, it makes sense because you've got two people who are, well, Anthony Yard's challenged Beterbiev, as has Callum Smith, but they'd be also looking to try and get back in at world level regardless who the winner is. So there you go. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does. We're also seeing Sam Noakes versus Lewis Sylvester. That was an interesting press conference because I thought Sam Noakes was the star of the show, even though when it came to him and Lewis Stevens, or Sylvester, I should say, I call him Stevenson there, I don't know where that came from, Lewis Sylvester, he was really the star of the show. They were respectful, but Sam Noakes was just chucking in. Whenever some of the fighters were having words or anything like that, he was always kind of in there with the comment and all, and he seems like a good guy, and these two both seem like they respect each other very much, so they both seem like good guys. That's going to be a good fight on Saturday night. So the Warren show, let's see what the weigh-in is like tomorrow. But for the press conference today, I enjoyed it. It was a good watch. Let's see what tomorrow and obviously Saturday night holds. Obviously, over the course of the week, there has been some news coming out. There's been a few fights talked about here and there. Tyson Fury has said that he won't be retiring anytime soon and has a 5-fight plan to face Alexander Usyk twice, Anthony Joshua twice, and then a rematch with Francis Ngannou. So if he's gonna, all right, listen, right, I'm not even gonna go there. But Tyson Fury saying that he'll stick around for 5 years. For me, that's Fury just saying it. I'd be amazed if anyone who he's mentioned there, Usyk, Fury, Joshua, Ngannou, I'd be amazed if any of them stick around for 5 years. It is strange to look at the likes of Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, and Alexander Usyk too as well. Cause I say Alexander Usyk because he wasn't a heavyweight when Fury and Joshua were kind of the new kids on the blocks. He was down a cruiserweight. And it is weird because you look at Joshua and Fury, and at one stage, not so long ago, well, it is probably long ago, but it doesn't feel like that long ago now, 2016, 2015, they were the new kids on the block. They were part of this new crop of heavyweights. And now we're kind of seeing them as the old guard, because they are really. We're looking at the Atelmas, we're looking at the Jared Andersons, we're looking at the Fabio Wadleys of the world who are up and coming. And we're looking at Richard Torres. We're looking at them. We're thinking these are the new kids, and they're looking at guys like Joshua Jalaloff, looking at those, and it's like, wow, that's come around quick. Because it seems like only yesterday that Joshua Fury was beating Klitschko, Wilder. We only seen them, Joe Parker, and we were like, oh, these are the new guys now, who we would have looked at and said, what's Klitschko going to do? Now we're looking at these guys and saying, oh yeah, these new kids on the block. So they are. And listen, if Fury or Joshua or Usyk stuck around or Ngannou for that matter, stuck around for 5 years, I'd be amazed, because they are in their mid to late 30s. They ain't going to be around 5 years. No way. No way in hell. The EBU have ordered Adam Azim to defend his title against Dalton Smith. So he keeps saying Callum. As soon as I see Smith, I'm like, Liam Smith, Callum Smith, Dalton Smith from Sheffield, Grant Smith trained fighter. I think that's a great fight. Problem, Eddie Hearn seems keen for it. We know Ben Shalom is less than keen to have his fighters go through purse bids. We've already seen that. We are seeing Fraser Clark fight Fabio Wadley now. We could have seen a fight last year at some point. We know that Ben Shalom is a bit unwilling to go down that road. Maybe he's had a change, or maybe it's gone to the stage now with Sky Sports that he really doesn't have any avenues to go down, because the shows have been pretty bad. I'm sure Sky aren't happy with the feedback probably from the fans with some of those shows. People keep commenting and saying show is dead, show is dead, show is dead. Maybe now it's a case of, right, you believe in Adam Azim, you believe in Fraser Clark, you believe in people like that, you're going to have to get the big fights made. Tough, what. If you want to keep it in-house, tough, what. Get the fights made. Because the fans are really starting to get peeved off a boxer, I believe. And Sky Sports are probably feeling that and thinking, we have this massive platform, this massive reach in marketing. We've Premier League football, we've dart, we've everything. And, you're not fully filling out the OVO. People are saying these shows are dead. They're not happy with the cards we're putting on. Get it done. Let's see. I would favour Dalton Smith. I think he's further along in his career. I think I'm just more impressed with him. Adam Azim is very flashy. He is very fast, but Dalton Smith just ticks more boxes for me personally. And speaking of boxing, Sky, Adam Smith, he's set to return to commentary on Saturday night. Saturday night, is it? I actually thought it was tomorrow night. I mean, I'm reading this off Twitter here, but I thought the GBM show, which they normally stream to YouTube, they get TalkSport in to do some of the work. Adam Smith's meant to be commenting. They're saying that's Saturday night. I thought it was tomorrow night in Sheffield, but regardless, in fact, I think the weigh-in was today, so it would be tomorrow night. So I think there's a typo there on Twitter. I think it actually is Friday night. Adam Smith back with GBM. I like what they're doing. I think they've been doing quite well. I've been really enjoying some of their shows. At the end of the day, their shows, are they the highest level? No, not necessarily, but there's some domestic dust up there. We're seeing some prospects, and it's free to YouTube. You can't really complain. I like what they're doing. They're making some good moves. So Adam Smith returns to commentary. I wonder what he's going to be like. See, here's the thing, right? I wonder what Adam Smith, was he always kind of trying to, keep the guys at Sky happy with his commentary? Because some of it was good when, you saw those dramatic moments. Adam Smith was very good. But take that away, his commentary wasn't the best. Those big dramatic moments, you'd want him like a Larry Merchant, who only really chived in when he needed to. That really is Adam Smith, because you need him to come in at those big moments, because when the dramatic moments happen, he's very good. But the rest of that fight, it can be a bit like, oh, come on. So I wonder what he's going to be like. He's been with Sky for 30 years? So is he going to be in that Sky mode always, or will we see Adam Smith letting his hair down? Who knows? Had the weigh in for Teofimo Lopez, Jermaine Ortiz. That is on tonight, Thursday night / Friday morning in the UK. I'm looking forward to that. You know, Ortiz, he gave Loma a harder time than many of us envisioned. So seeing him go in there against Lopez, who looked very good. Lopez, when he's on it, just beautiful. He really is great to watch. But when he's off it, very beatable. As we've seen with George Kambosos, you know, that win, or sorry, that loss more so, you would say, for Lopez, hasn't aged the best. You know, getting schooled twice by Devin Haney. I thought he lost to Maxi Hughes, and now he's fighting Loma, and I expect Loma to do an absolute number on George Kambosos, quite frankly. So, you know, that loss hasn't aged well. But saying that, you know, he's been looking good. He looked good against Josh Taylor last time around, did Teofimo Lopez. So I'll do a review of that in the morning. We'll see how it goes. Eddie Hearn's declared that they are willing to make an offer for Gervonta Davis next April, May in the US. I think Davis versus Ben is a fight that can really light up America and the UK. Right. As I said, right, I wouldn't give Conor Ben a prayer against Tank Davis. Yes, he's the bigger guy, but Tank Davis is just on another universe in terms of Conor Ben. I do wonder because, as I said, you know, look at the likes of David Avanesian, look at the likes of Adrian Broner. If you want to build him up again and try and have a run at world level, see where he'll end up, then that's what you do. If you just want to cash him out, you put him in there against Eubank, you put him in there against Devin Haney, you put him in there, well, you wouldn't really get much of a payday for Boots Ennis. You put him in there with Tank Davis, because he's going to lose. And he's going to lose by knockout, more than likely. And, you know, you lose to a guy who's campaigned primarily at lightweight, that's not a good look. You know, first fight at 147 for Devin Haney, he completely schooled and maybe even stops Conor Ben. Yeah, there's not going to be, you can try and build him back up and you might be able to, but it's not going to be a good look, and people would lose faith pretty quick, I would imagine. So, look, let's see. Eddie Hearn trying to do Tank Davis versus Conor Ben. As I said, look, it's a strange fight. It just seems like it's either fighting a middleweight or fighting a lightweight or fighting a 140 pounder. And, you know, in terms of 147, what's going on there? Look, let's see. I don't want this video to go on too, and that's pretty much most of the news anyway that we've seen over the last couple of days. But just to kind of reiterate, looking forward to the Hamza Sheeraz and Liam Williams fight this weekend. The card looks good as well. I'm looking forward to seeing what's on the card. I'll be there, fight night. I'm going to try and get in. Well, I think they open at 5, so I'm going to try and get in for around about 6 o'clock thereabouts. And yeah, it's going to be a fun couple of days. I enjoyed the press conference today, so yeah, let's see what the next few days has in store. So lads, I will leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it as well, because the aircon in here is really good, and it's quite a warm room, but it's really loud at the same time. So it is roasting in here, because I don't want any unnecessary noise coming in for this video. And I mean, it's warm. So I want this video done so I can make it cold again, because it is roasting hot in here. So I'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you could. Subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. And for now, I will leave it there. Peace.